Hey everyone, and thanks for the feedback from the video I put out last week, and that actually encouraged me to do another one this week, and actually I'll try to do one every week as we go forward here. And if I want to make a bunch of these, I got to come up with a name for them, so I'm going to call them Positive Messages of Encouragement, or PME for short. And my military friends will probably get a kick out of that acronym being used that way. So right now things seem pretty bad. In fact, sometimes they seem a little bit overwhelmingly bad. And we start to wonder, how are we ever going to get through this? So I thought maybe it's time to just for a brief minute put the bad aside and start looking at what do we have that's good and what do we have that's working. And I'm reminded of a quote from the movie Apollo 13 when Ed Harris's character Gene Kranz is talking to the folks in the control room right after they've found out all the stuff that's happened to the spacecraft. And he says, let's look at this in terms of status. What do we got on the spacecraft that's good? So I decided to do that. I said, let's take a look today. What do I got that's good? I decided to make a list, and I will share my list with you. The first thing on my list, and it's a simple one, today the sun came up. The next thing on the list is the family's here together and everyone's okay. And everybody's doing something. My wife has started teaching school online for her kids. My son is doing school online. In fact, he's gotten so good at this Zoom thing that he and his friends get together for a virtual lunch during the day. My daughter is drawing, making all kinds of projects that we're using for a variety of different things. The next one is essential workers, from medical to grocery clerks, are out doing their thing and taking care of us and keeping things going. Even my son works at a grocery store, so every couple of days he's going in to do his part, and I couldn't be more proud of him. Next one, communities are coming together. I see it here when we're walking around during the day and in the evenings. People are talking to each other, smiling, waving. I don't think a car passes by that doesn't wave as we're walking by in the neighborhood. And communities are coming together to help out their local businesses to the best extent they can under whatever circumstances they are for their area. We started doing church online, and our church was always set up for this, but it's great that we have that resource, and I think more and more churches are developing that resource, so it's a great thing to keep that spiritual part of your triad going. Exercise. Now it's become a little bit different, so I don't get to go to the gym every day. Doing a lot more time on the inline skates, probably going to wear out my wheels a lot faster than I planned for the year, but making the best of it and trying to stay physically fit, another part of that triad. Making these videos. It's a great mental thing for me, so that's the final part of that triad, the spiritual, physical, and mental thing. I hope they're helpful for you, but I know it's actually doing something for me to work on these videos, feel like I'm contributing, feel like I'm doing something. And I'm actually getting a little bit smarter on some of these software programs that I own. I'm finding more and more positive stories as I look around the internet. You know, there's still a lot of bad and still a lot of negative out there. There's still a lot of folks who feel like they have to spread fear and panic, but I'm also seeing a lot of folks who are trying to spread positive, and I think that's wonderful. With this time, I'm getting really good at Galaga, almost as good as I was when I was a teenager back in the 80s. So I don't know what I can do with that going forward in the future, but right now it feels pretty good to be breaking some old high scores. And then finally, going back to the Apollo 13 reference, Tom Hanks is okay, made it through coronavirus. So that's my list. So I think that it's important as we go forward, because there are going to be some more difficult times ahead, and then there's going to be a lot of work as we try to rebuild all the things that we have to put back together at the other side of this. There's another quote from the Apollo 13 incident, and it's probably famous enough that everyone's heard it, even if you've never seen the movie. Same character, Gene Kranz, tells a room of engineers, failure is not an option. And personally, I like that attitude. I think that's the attitude we need to have right now. We're going to get through this. We're going to fix things on the other side. So go ahead and get started on your own list. And if you're having a problem getting started because everything seems so bad and so broken, let me give you some help. Go ahead and get out your piece of paper. Get out your pen. Write number 1 at the top of that piece of paper. And next to number 1, go ahead and write, today, the sun came up. That'll get you started. The rest of the list is yours. That's all for now. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week.